Hi everybody, hope all of you are doing good. In this video, I will share my experience with you guys that by how putting two lesser birds, you can produce phenomenal chicks. Now, you can see on your screen that I have two normal sky blue budgies in the breeding cage. And neither of the parents, they are really of good quality. They have a good, decent body length, but none of them have good directional feathers. They are clean birds, but none of them you will consider as a super quality birds. Now, both of these birds are my ring birds, and why I did put them together. There was an initial thought that I need to breed a certain mutation, which is a fallow budgie. And both of these, they are split fallow, German fallow mutation. They are split of German fallow mutation. They have same mothers, they're half brother and half sister. The fathers are different. I'll try my best to put the picture of their mother somewhere in the corner, so you will see what their mother was. She was a sky blue cinnamon fallow budgie. And I used her with two of my best quality males last year. Both of those males, because I had a plan in my mind that I will be breeding the chicks of this hen in the future together, so I can breed fallow budgies. If any of you they don't know how the fallow mutation work, the German fallow is basically a recessive mutation, and to produce German fallows, you need to have a fallow gene in both parents, mother and father. And it's a rare mutation. I only had one hen, which I bought it as an outcross from a very good stud in Germany. So I was unable to resource another good quality fallow hen or male from anywhere else, from a different bloodline. So my options, they were very restricted. It does happen quite often when you buy an outcross from a good reputable breeder who has a certain shape to its birds, and you put that bird to best of your own birds, the result normally doesn't come very good. The birds, they don't click with each other. The reason behind it, because each bloodline or the breeders who are in a hobby for more than 10 years or around that time, and they are improving their birds continuously, and is a stud of birds which are very closely related to each other, those birds, they do develop a certain look. So every reputable stud has a certain look in his birds. So the birds, they look very familiar or very similar to each other. So when you pick up those birds and you put those birds with your own birds, or the if you are breeding for a long time, or with the birds of another reputable breeder who has a certain look as well, they don't really, most of the time, they don't really click. And I'll give you an example why that happens. So if you take, just example, if you take a British Bulldog, purebred British Bulldog, and on the other side you take a purebred German Shepherd from two very good studs, the show studs. Even though both the breeds, they have been bred to best of their standards, and they are show-winning studs, but when you put those dogs together of a different breeds, the babies, the puppies you'll get, they will not look like either of the parents. They will look like a very average puppy if you look at them from a show standard. So this is what exactly happened in budgies as well. When you buy birds from certain breeders, which got nothing to do with your stud, and you put those birds in your stud, the first generation you get is normally are not very good quality birds, the first generation. But when you put those generations back together, it depends wherever you want to take it. So the reason, let me just make it a bit short because I'm just going in too much detail. These birds, they have the same mother, a different father. And what I did, I deliberately put the fathers or the males with that particular hen of a completely different line. completely different lines, because I did not want those males to be related to each other, which were paired up with a fallow hen. So I wanted the blood of hen, or the visual, regardless of the mutation. I'm not talking about the mutation, because whatever birds I would have used with that hen, all the chicks would have been, or they are, fallow split. But I wanted the visual appearance or visual trait of the hen to take over. You understand? So that's why the males I put with that hen, they were not related with each other at all. So one set of babies from one male, they are carrying different traits, and the babies from the other male, they were carrying different genetic makeup from each other, but they have a similarity when it came to the genes they got from the mother, because they have same mothers. So I put these two birds together, which are half brother, half sister. I'll try my best to, if I can find the pictures of their fathers, to stick somewhere in this video so you can see the fathers. So the hen's father is this one, and the male's father is this one. Their mother, as I explained before, is the same. Now let me show you the what chicks I've got from this pair. So these are the chicks that I've got from that pair I've showed you earlier. All of them blue series birds. Two of them, they are cinnamon opaline hens, because the pair is a normal blue split fallow. None of the chick is fallow, so that's another thing. You don't always get what you're looking for, but what I wanted to pay attention to is the quality. So if you see, these are very young birds, but you see the quality of the birds and the size. They're still growing, but you can see the head structure, where it's going. Look at the heads. They're going to be, the sizes on the birds, they are phenomenal. The only bird which will be of, I would say, a lesser, slightly lesser quality might be this one. He doesn't have that, the frontal. But other four chicks, they are of phenomenal quality. What I can see at the moment, how they're going to be, they're going to look when they'll molt out. So the point is that even though the birds are not visually very striking, but as long as the bloodline is there and you are pairing these birds in such a way that you are concentrating one particular blood in the chicks, it can be either from the father, or it can be either from the original mother, the outcross you got. You can get very good results. Just imagine now, if I would have used these lesser birds, the parents I've showed you, with another super outcross which got nothing to do with their parents or with their mother, I can guarantee you the result would have been far, far worse than the original parents, because you are kept on diluting the bloodline on which the breeder has worked for 10, 15, 20 years. So when you start buying from everywhere, start getting the outcrosses from everywhere, and you keep on diluting the blood on which the breeder has worked, you are basically creating a recipe or following a recipe of reducing quality. You're going to be reducing the quality of your babies in coming future, and that's what happens with most of the breeders. They just kept on buying. Does not matter, even if you're buying a super quality bird. As I've showed you, the grandparents of these chicks, all of them, they were super birds. But their parents, they were not super. Why? Because the bloodline of these chicks' parents, it got nothing to do with the original bloodline. Like the bloodline of their grandmother had nothing to do with the bloodline of their grandfather. Yeah? But their parents, they had one thing in common, which was their mother. Like the grandmother of these chicks was a common factor in their parents, in their mother and father. Both had the same mother. So that's what it clicked. It can work a bit more better and a bit more easily if their grandfather was same and grandmothers were different. But now, this quality birds, or these chicks, now I'm not talking about the mutation. Obviously, I didn't get any fallow chicks. I don't know which ones of these ones going to be the fallow split unless I breed them with any visual fallow or split. Even with a split, it's like a very rare chance or very less probability that I'll be able to figure out if the baby is fallow split or not, unless they produce fallow. But what I'm trying to say, when it comes to the breeding, the quality budgies, you need to be very, very careful, and your methodology or recipe or whatever you're following, it should be very consistent. Now, these birds, what I will do, I will breed them out of their mother's bloodline, out of their grandmother's bloodline. Yeah, and now I will put them with one of the bloodline of their grandfather. Either I will pair these chicks back to their father's father bloodlines. Yeah, so I will eliminate the grandmother factor. I will bring in there, most likely from their father. I can go to the mother's father as well, their mother's father, but I will push them again into their father's father bloodline. There will be some features which came from their grandmother, they will be embedded. Then it's a breeder's kind of understanding how he consider one feature as a dominant, recessive, or sex-linked, the way we do with the color mutations as well. It gets really complicated, but what I'm trying to make you understand, that once you have bred half brother, half sister, do not put the chicks back into the line from where they're related as a half brother, half sister, which is in this case their grandmother. Their grandmother was same. Their parents have a common mother. I will not use these birds again with that particular bloodline. I will now go to their grandfather's bloodline and start putting them there to see how they do. Sometimes they do really good, sometimes they don't do really good. But when I'll breed, suppose these chicks, when they'll go to their grandfather's father's bloodline and produce something really good, then I will be in a position to put them in any other bloodline to push certain features forward. But if they will not breed anything good, what I will do, I will push them back, their chicks, I will push them back to their great-grandmothers, like their grandmother's bloodline. It gets complicated, it should be on a chart, but what I'm trying to explain it to you, that you have to work, when you're working within a family, when you bring another bird from outside the family, which got nothing to do with the family of birds where you're breeding, don't always expect super birds, but do not get rid of the chicks you get in the first rounds or first generation chicks. Because even though they're not looking anything visually good, you can always use them very carefully and with the proper, as I'm saying that, using a word of recipe, you need to follow that recipe, like which bloodline you're going to push them towards. Obviously, they're carrying the genes. Even if the first generation gene is not showing itself, but definitely the birds are carrying that genetic makeup of that particular shape. If that shape is not visual, this means that shape is carrying some kind of recessive pattern that they're not showing, but they're carrying it inside. Exactly the way it's happening with their mutation. Their grandmother was a great-grandmother, the grandmother was a visual fallow hen. None of these chicks are fallow. But it doesn't mean that the fallow blood doesn't exist. Yes, some of the birds will not carry fallow because both the parents will split. 25% of the birds, they don't carry fallow, they will not carry fallow. But that's only a chances. Maybe all of them are carrying fallow genes, which I don't know. And maybe all of them, they're not carrying fallow genes, because these are possible splits. That's what exactly happens with the features as well. Now what I'll do, I'll keep the 4 best ones and I'll take out this chick, which, as shown you before as well, is not carrying that particular trait from the grandmother. Neither he's carrying from the grandfathers. He's a mix of everything. So I will not use this one. Now we are in a second generation. But these 4 chicks I will definitely use, and I know where to put them. And that's how you push the bloodline forward. Why people fail in any kind of these show type of livestock, because people don't understand how the genetic traits or the visual appearance will carry on in the next generation. Or if you are in some kind of other traits like racing horses or the dogs, how the traits going to carry on. But the blood, I'm telling you, even the first generation is not very good. The blood stays in the first generation, and you can use the first generation is the most important one. You can use the first generation properly to get the original visual appearance of the parent or grandparent you desire. In this case, their grandmother. The original plan was for the color, but I didn't get the color, I got the quality. I've got the features. And I'll show you these chicks when they're a bit older, so it'll give you a better idea how good they will become. Now, these chicks, now this hen, look at the shape of the hen, and this male, they're going to be really, really good birds. Okay, before I end the video, somebody asked me about the mechanism, how my nest boxes are. I haven't got the clean one, I just took one out. So these are the box within a box, and it's not very clean, but it's just for the demonstrating purposes. So this is the nest box, and you can see the mechanism. So how it is, let me just explain it properly. So you got a groove here in which the spring loaded, it's kind of a small bolt. I can't obviously take it out now. It runs through these grooves and push this forward, and then you can close it as well. So it's basically a spring loaded kind of a small, I don't have it. If I can take it out, it's very hard for me. You can't because it's spring loaded. I don't know if you can see from the corner. Let me just, can you see that? See that bit here? If I stretch it a bit, I don't want to break it, but can you see that? So that thing, it runs in the groove here on either sides of the nest box, and that's how this sliding mechanism it works. You'll be able to find those the spring-loaded kind of, I don't know, what do you call them, studs or whatever. You just push them in, basically here. This area, you push them. Let me just think. There's a hole on this part of the box. There's a hole on either side, so you push that spring-loaded bolt or whatever it is inside, and then you slide it in the groove. And as you can see here, that's how it is. It slides in, and that's how this mechanism it works. Yeah, somebody asked me, and they asked me quite a few times. So I'll explain that, and that's how the nest boxes are, door. So you can push it back and you can take it forward. So that's how it is, yeah. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.